For those of you whom I've not had the opportunity to meet this morning, I'm Marty Sauls, and I serve as chairman of the Southern Carolina Alliance and Jasper County Council, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's groundbreaking ceremony celebrating the development of this 880-acre South Atlantic Logistics Terminal, or as we like to call it, SALT. You know, I love the acronym SALT for this first development adjacent to the Sherwood property. Not only is it just 15 minutes from the Port of Savannah and the salty Atlantic, but in the Bible, salt symbolizes permanence, loyalty, durability, usefulness, and value. In fact, in ancient times, salt was traded around the world and used as a currency. For us here in Jasper County, salt property is not only a valuable economic development asset, but it represents future opportunities, all made possible by long-term, permanent commitment, investment, and partnership as well. So I think SALT is the perfect name for this development, Mark, which holds so much promise. We'd like to thank all of our partners in bringing SALT project to fruition, and Mark and Danny will be doing so shortly. But first, please join me in recognizing our elected officials who have joined us this morning. We have Senator Tom Davis, Senator Brad Hutto, who not only serve in the state Senate, but also serve on the board of directors at the Southern Carolina Alliance. My fellow Jasper County Council members, Mr. John Kemp, Mr. Joe Arzillo, and Mr. Chris Van Giesen are with us this morning. Also, Beaufort County Councilwoman Paula Brown, Hampton County Councilman J.J. Jinks, Mayor Harry Williams, also Mr. Steve Mearsman. We have also, in addition, Mr. Daniel Head, who is here representing Senator Lindsey Graham's office, Mr. Ted Felder, representing Congressman Joe Wilson, and Dalton Tresvant, representing Congressman Clyburn. Thank you to all of you for joining us today to commemorate this game-changing investment in our region. At the center of this project is Mark Hall of North Point Development. Mark, his team, and his investors are providing new opportunities for not only the people of Jasper County, but our entire region, and the folks across the state line over in Savannah as well. Mark has extensive experience in the Savannah market over the last 30 years, which gives him a unique level of expertise and knowledge. Mark's approach to North Point is cultivating relationships which are deeply rooted in his commitment to loyalty and finding ways to partner and create scenarios which are a rising tide floats all boats. Mark believes in the almighty power of a handshake and the power of personal connection. He emerged from a family with a love of building and developing properties that make a difference in the quality of life in their communities. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our partner, Mark Hall at North Point Development.
Morning. I want to thank everybody for being here with us. Marty, thank you for your kind words, and not only your words, but your actions. And it's people like Marty Sauls that make the reality of today's events happen. It's a partnership, and we appreciate it. Partnership means commitment, loyalty, and hard work for the benefit of the entire team. Everyone here has played a role in bringing us to this moment. We are turning the page. It's a new chapter. A lot has been done, but there's a lot yet to be done. The definition of a partnership is any number of individuals or entities with common interests and investments in a business enterprise that share in the expenses, potential losses, and profits gained in the venture. There's another definition that I came across this week. It's a nautical term. Partner is a timber framework secured to and strengthening the deck of a wooden ship. That's what this partnership means. And moving forward, it's our intent that it's a benefit to the entire community. A lot of people to thank. I'm going to run through this, but there's so many people that have done so much collectively, as a team, but individually. First, Cross Harbor. Neil and Jay, thanks for coming coming down from Boston. Tell Tom we said hello. Board members of SCA, Senators Hutto and Davis, Danny Black, and your team. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much for your commitment to us and the hard work you put in. City of Hardyville, Jasper County, Beaufort, Jasper Water and Sewer. Burnham, we had dinner with Mr. Baker last night. Beaufort, Jasper Water and Sewer is a big partner in what you see today. Going through the process, we are 3 years working 8 days a week to get here. Milestones. The wetland permit was the biggest one, hard fought. Steve Nichols is in the back, hardest working man in show business. Worked with us through 4 different project managers at the federal level. And at every turn we had to start over again. Steve, can't thank you enough. List of the guys that kept us straight on the legal side, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Chad Johnson, Bill Glass, thanks for being here. New to the team, William McKinney. Some of the old samurais, Brooke Stillwell, Governor Hodges, he'll put you in that group. Thank you for behind the scenes, keeping things moving forward. Jim Newsom, Walter, thanks for being here. Friends and family investors, Thomas and Hutton, Evans, Jeff, 20 years plus, thanks. New partnership and friendships, J.H. Hires, Redgate, state agencies, South Carolina DOT, DHEC, Department of Commerce, Dominion Energy, the JLL team. Thank you, Chris. Continued hard work. There's a lot of other people here. I'm not going to burn any more time, but if you're here, you're important to us. My vow to you is we'll spend more time with you. It's been a busy couple of years, sort of gotten out of our routine of doing some of the fun things, but we're here now. The North Point team, Natalie Phillip for making all this happen. KG, Auburn, Kate Brown.
Yep.
That's the MVP right there. This project is about jobs, it's about growth, it's about smart growth, improving the quality of life for the citizens of Jasper County and the entire region. It's a tipping point for investment. Mayor of Hardyville said last night that he's busier in the last 2 months than he's been in the last 2 years, and I think that's just the beginning. This area has been watching from the sidelines for years, longer, and now we're in the game. That is a testament to the people here, the hard work, the dedication. So it's time to take a moment to celebrate the groundbreaking and then get back to work and recommit to doing our very best for the entire region. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Number one, let me hug you. Now, this is a dream come true. We started this thing 5 years ago, I guess it was, and I'm gonna tell you, you got some superstars to put this thing together. We have superstars in the state, and I want to first thank, of course, Marty and his leadership of the SCA board, the 49 members of our board of directors that give us the opportunity to do this every day. I also want to thank our Senate delegation. We have today, I think, one of the strongest Senate delegations
in the state of South Carolina. All that power in Greenville and Columbia and Charleston's moving this way. And we expect big things out of them, and we'll introduce them later. But I do want to recognize Margie. Stand up, Margie. Margie Bright Matthew. She won re-election unanimously, I understand. But she's going to be serving another 4 years with Senator Davis and Senator Utto, and we are in charge now in Columbia. So we're looking for big things. Let me also introduce some people that don't normally get recognized and don't normally want the recognition. But Dominion Energy, I see Blakely sitting back there. We're certainly glad to have you here. Jennifer, you better not have left yet. Stand up. Jennifer Bruce, Sarah Johnson, with the Department of Commerce. They have been a partner on everything, not just this project, but everything that we've done in the 7-county region in the past few years. And we appreciate what you've done and appreciate your partnership in doing this. I also want to thank the engineers, and I'm not going to go through all the names because Mark covered most of them, but I do want to thank Steve Nichols in particular. We had a little struggle with some frogs and some turtles and some bats, and we had some natural disasters come through that kind of eliminated all of them. So all we got to worry about now is monkeys that may cross the line from here. 11 more to go. Hopefully they'll be taken care of soon. Well, we may need the workforce. We'll stay in touch with them. But we certainly want to recognize all the companies, and Mark's done that, but they have done a fantastic job, and we certainly appreciate what they've done. I also want to thank Miss May Peach. I don't know if any of her family made it. Miss Peach's family owned this piece of property, this 800 acres and the 500 acres down the road that SEA actually holds title to. She was extremely gracious and very supportive of getting things done. And we had talked to her about coming up, and I don't think she was physically able, and I'm not sure. Did any family make it? Okay. Certainly want to thank her and appreciate her. And we're going to send her a video, hopefully, of this so she knows exactly what's happened here. I get the pleasure of just telling you the good news. The people that do all the work for SCA, most of them out doing work right now. Kay and Gracie are here. Kay Maxwell's been with us 19,000 years, and Gracie just joined us. I think everybody's met Gracie, but she has come to work with us in marketing now and is doing a super job. Also, where's Taylor? Taylor Boykin. Hey, Taylor, raise your hand real high so everybody sees. Taylor has joined us from secondary school out of Clemson, and hopefully we'll be able to train him and making sure he is a great project manager, and he is. He's done a super job in Jasper County and Allendale County, concentrating now in Jasper, but he's got a bright future ahead of him. So if you need anything in Jasper County in particular, Taylor's around and ready to move. Now, it's my pleasure, too, to introduce one of the stalwarts of getting this stuff done, of moving the operation forward, permitting everything we need to have happen, and that's the mayor of Hardeeville. And Mayor Harry Williams has done a super job in leading. He took over from Mayor Bronco Bostic. Bronco, stand up. Bronco's older than I am. I don't know how much. But he and I worked together for a number of years on a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate Bronco's support and what you have done. And you have been replaced by a fantastic mayor as well that's carrying the legacy forward and doing great things, especially the past year or so. Fastest growing town. I don't care what they say about Myrtle Beach. I'm sick of hearing about Myrtle Beach. Fastest growing town in South Carolina is Hardeeville, South Carolina. Mayor, would you mind coming up?
Mark, Danny got to hug you, but I want to hug the ending bit. Right. Good morning, everyone. Now, of course, Mark said that I've been busier in the last couple of months, and one of the reasons is because we actually, this is the 14th day, we have a brand new city manager. And I'd like to introduce him, Mr. Josh Brewer. So, as always, what happens now that Josh is here, all the credit for Bucky's and this is on the shoulders. But of course, we recognize that a lot of that credit goes to Mr. Mike Zimborg. He did a wonderful job. And all the things I've been able to do, if I've been able to do anything, Denny, is because it was a legacy was left to me and all our council people by Mayor Bostic and his councils before us. You always have to remember what got you here, and probably one of the single biggest reasons it was elected in the first place was because of the help I received from Mayor Bostic, so thank you. Okay. That's enough of the ad-lib stuff. On behalf of the Hardeeville City Council, City Management, and staff, and we have many of them here today, we welcome South Atlantic Logistics Terminal to Hardeeville and wish you many years of success. Today we're here to celebrate the raising of warehouse walls and new industry. But really, we're here for so much more. When I arrived in Hardeeville, there was a need for better paying jobs closer to home. I heard the phrase corridor of shame for the first time. This new corridor between Highway 17 and I-95, running from Exit 5 to the new Exit 3, will bring new opportunities to raise the quality of life for the residents of Hardeeville and our entire region. With these new jobs, new homes, and new services will be needed for new young families. Opportunities will abound, spurred by the growth of this new corridor of opportunity. So today is not just about raising warehouse walls. Today it's about raising the people of our region. To our friends at Salton, may your years be made and filled with thankful people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Senator Brad Hutto, who represents our region in the legislature from Senate District Number 40. Not only is Senator Hutto a strong voice for economic development in the legislature, but he's a founding member on the Southern Carolina Alliance Board, working with our board of directors to acquire our first development property in South Carolina, the Advanced Technology Park, more than 2 decades ago. For almost 30 years, Brad has served on the SCA Board of Directors and currently serves as chairman of our executive committee. During that time, Brad has been a leader in our organization as we have announced more than $3.5 billion in private capital investment and more than 12,000 jobs. We're proud to say that Brad also serves as Senate Minority Leader for us in the State Senate. Most importantly and impressively, Brad is an avid hiker and an Eagle Scout. Not too many of those. So if we get lost on this massive property today, he's the guy that's going to lead us home. So y'all would please join me in welcoming Senator Brad Hutto.
Good morning, everybody. This is truly a great day in South Carolina, and there's probably not a finer example than this of what public-private partnerships can do, people working together. I live in Orangeburg. That's about 2 hours from here. The district I represent, and most of the people that vote for me, live over there too. And so you might ask yourself, then why is a guy from Orangeburg here in Jasper County? Well, somebody said earlier that a rising tide lifts all boats. And we recognized many years ago that the small rural counties that are a little bit far away from here are very much tied to Jasper and Savannah. And Senator Matthews and Senator Davis will tell you that in the legislature, every time we turn around, there's always a crisis in Charleston. There's always something that Charleston needs. And so they come to us and they explain it to us and we help them out. Well, we finally got together and said, you know what? It's time for us to have a small crisis in Jasper and ask for some money down here. And so we did that. They said that I was the founding member of the Southern Carolina Alliance. That's not quite true. When I joined, it was called the Tri-County Alliance. It was Allendale and Bamberg and Barnwell, three of the smallest, poorest, most ruling counties in this state. And we got together to try and recruit industry to our rural area. And as we worked, people recognized the good work we were doing. And before long, Hampton County said, can we join? We said, yeah, but with four of us, we can't keep the name Tri-County Alliance, so we'll be Southern Carolina Alliance. And we worked harder, and then Colleton County said, can we join? And we said, come on in. And then Jasper said, can we join? And then finally we drug Beaufort along. We're now one of the larger alliances for economic development and have continued to grow, and Marty told you of our success. But I'll tell you this, I don't know, it was 4, 5, 6 years ago, we were looking really for something that we could do for this area, and the Sherwood track adjacent to this track was identified to us. So Tom and Margie and I went to the leaders of the Finance Committee in the Senate, and we said, we need about $8 million to buy some land in Jasper County. And they like, what? We need to buy land in Jasper County. But we said, we're going to do that. We're actually going to give the money to a regional alliance. They're going to buy the land, and they're going to get this option on this other land, the land we're on today. And that's what I mean by a public-private partnership. It took the government to get this property to make sure that it was available. And then it's taken a lot of hard work to get the permits, to get the water and sewer here. We've always known the location of this property, the proximity to the interstate, the proximity to the Port of Savannah. And I'll get back to what I said in the beginning. I live 2 hours of here, so why would it matter to me? We know that most of the industry that will come to this area will use the Port of Savannah. And while we all love the Port of Charleston, it's time for us to recognize that we actually have some alignment with our neighbor next in the state next door. So we're all working together. We're all a great team. And Mark, you know, when you first probably looked at this property, just a lot of pine trees, a graveyard we had to deal with, some wetlands, other things that come along with acquiring what used to be an old plantation. But we've worked our way through it, and I'm so proud today to be standing in front of big, heavy equipment that's going to turn this into what, well, it's going to be buildings, right? But that's not the important thing. It's going to be jobs. This is going to change the lives of people in this area. It's going to change the economic future of Jasper County. And so we're all here to celebrate with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hodo. Today it's my honor to introduce Senator Tom Davis of Beaufort. While Senator Davis is a partner in the law firm of Harvey and Batty, he's not your typical lawyer. Before his election as the state senate for District 46, representing portions of Beaufort and Jasper counties, Tom served in Governor Mark Sanford's administration as senior policy advisor, co-chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, and chief of staff from 2003 to 2007. During his time, Senator Davis has led South Carolina's successful negotiations with the state of Georgia to co-develop a new port on the Savannah River in Jasper County. Since then, he has been a tireless advocate for job creation in the Southern Carolina Alliance region, fighting for better infrastructure, economic development, education, and opportunities for all. So Senator Davis was our partner in developing the I-95 and Highway 17 corridor really before he even knew it. He laid much of the groundwork and has fought the good fight to bring us the opportunity that we have here today and many more in the future. So please join me in welcoming to the podium Senator Tom Davis.
Good morning still. We're piggyback on a couple of things that Brad said and what Danny said. I've been in politics, as Marty just indicated, for about 20 years, starting out as chief of staff in Governor Sanford's office. And one of the things I talked to Governor Sanford about was, I said, Jasper County has got all the fundamentals in place for economic growth. It's got proximity to a port. It's got proximity to an interstate. It's got proximity to rail. It's got proximity to an airport. It's got thousands of acres of undeveloped land because it was bought as hunting preserves and hunting places. But nothing ever happens. And it always puzzled me because I've lived in Beaufort County for 40 years. Well, 40 years next March. And that's always puzzled me about why is Jasper County not realizing its potential. But when I got to Columbia and started working as chief of staff, I figured that out. I figured out why. As Brad indicated, or as Dan indicated, a lot of the power was centered up in Greenville, the Greenville-Spartanburg corridor. You had the Speaker of the House, David Wilkins, who was from Greenville. And in Charleston, it was focused down there because you had the Senate Pro Tem, Glenn McComb, and a lot of other powerful political figures in Charleston. And for whatever reason, there is this view up in Columbia. It's almost like a zero-sum game, that if something happens to the benefit of some other area, it must come at your expense. And so there was a reluctance to allow anything to happen in Jasper County. So the first thing we did is we did do that by state deal with the Georgia Ports Authority, the Southland State Ports Authority, to develop a port in Jasper County, something that Andy Folger has been working on for years and never came to fruition. And we're still working on it, quite frankly. We're still pushing that rock up the hill. But what's changed is that the center of power in Columbia has shifted from Greenville and Charleston to Beaufort and Jasper counties. And let me give you a concrete example of that. Beaufort and Jasper County delegations have 6 committee chairmanships in Columbia right now in General Assembly. That's twice as many as any other county in the state. And so we're able now to work with the Rural Infrastructure Authority, the Beaufort Jasper Water Sewer Authority, the Department of Commerce, the General Assembly. I mean, to bring money down to this area for necessary infrastructure, see what was theoretical become a reality. And the reason we celebrate things like today and North Point's development is, it is a concrete example of the things changing up in Columbia and something that was once in theory becoming reality. And once that fire starts, it's going to be a conflagration throughout this county. I mean, Josh and Harry, you got your work cut out for you, to make sure you control that growth, because people are going to want to come here. Capital is going to want to come here. And you've got a excellent opportunity to go ahead and balance the important things we have. And you've done that great so far, and I know you'll continue to do that. But days like today make me happy because for so many years, Jasper County has been frustrated. Its potential has not been fulfilled. Now we're seeing it fulfilled. And I see David Tedder here. How many times have I talked with David Tedder, the county attorney, about why can't we realize our potential? Why is the highway money going elsewhere? Why is the water sewer money? Why are economic development dollars? That's all changing. The next 10 years are going to be Beaufort and Jasper County's years. And it's a long time coming. I'm excited to get to work. We got a strong delegation. Margie Wright Matthews, Brad Hutto, the entire House delegation. The next 10 years are going to be exciting, and this is an example of just that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Our friend Senator Margie Bright Matthews represents Senate District 45, making her the senator who represents development that we're celebrating here today. For those of you who do not know Senator Margie Bright Matthews, let me tell you that she's a force to be reckoned with. A successful attorney practicing in her hometown of Walterboro, she has served this district since 2016. Since then, she has led bipartisan efforts in the legislature on issues as varied as women's rights, education, as well as economic development. Margie works closely with the SCA on issues related to economic development along the I-95 corridor, our existing ports, and future port development. We're fortunate that SALT has landed in Margie Bright Matthews' district because she means business, and I can promise you she does. And business and industry need Margie Bright Matthews on our side. Please welcome Senator Margie Bright Matthews.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you all for being here. This is really a great day for all of us. I am reminded, and before I begin with my remarks, Chief Gregory Alexander of Yamasee, who brought me here, he wanted to clarify that there are only 8 monkeys left. So I thought maybe I needed to let you know that in case we needed to go ahead and grab them. But anyway, I am reminded every time we have these events throughout my district. I'm reminded back when I was in high school and college, I don't remember which one, of Strom Thurmond and Fritz Holling standing together in the district. And I didn't really know what it meant when they said it, but they said something very important that we hear all the time. Politics is local. There stood a Republican and a Democrat at a podium saying, we have to work together. And we need that here in South Carolina because we've become so partisan. But we see here in South Carolina, we've got Brad Hutto and Tom Davis. When I first got to the Senate in 2015, what were we talking about? We were still on the issue of trying to get a port in Jasper County. The first thing I did was I reached out to my Republican counterpart. Much to my surprise, he pulled me in and dropped a stack of papers on my desk this thick of what we needed to do to move the Jasper Port forward. And here we are. I've been in the Senate since 2015, and I still hadn't finished reading all those papers Tom gave me. But we're working together. I didn't understand what all politics is local back then. But once I started serving with fine folks like Tom and Brad and other Republicans in our district, I learned that it doesn't matter what's behind your name. It matters what's in your heart and what you want to change in your district. And we have expressed among ourselves, no matter what, we're moving Jasper County forward because we are at a precipice. We are primed to change the Low Country. And I know when we change the Low Country, as it comes to projects such as this, Mr. Hall, we change it as it relates to economic development, when we change it as it relates to making sure that we have infrastructure, when we change it as it relates to education, what happens? We all prosper. We all move forward. And that's what we're committed to do. Regardless of all the other chatter outside of the state of South Carolina, we're committed to moving South Carolina forward. And I want to thank you, Danny, for allowing your staff to do all your work for you. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you, Governor Hodges. You are a dinosaur, the last Democrat ever to be governor. But I want to thank you for continuing your quest of moving the Low Country forward so that South Carolina in and of itself will continue to prosper. And since I'm the last speaker in front of us hitting those gold shovels, only thing I want to say is it gives me pleasure to see J.H. Hires. Are they here? Because, yay, a lot of the workers from Colleton County and Beaufort, and you know I'm from Walterbury, we benefit from the work that is being done, and that really, it makes my heart feel good to see all the J.H. Hires, tractors and track hoes back there. I wish I could operate one, but thank you so much for Mr. Hall for believing in our dedication to moving Jasper County forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Matthews. Before we do our call to shovels, just want to say on behalf of the Southern Carolina Alliance and the county and the city and everybody, thank you to Mark. 5 years in the making, and to be here today is truly such an awesome accomplishment. So excited about the future and what holds for everybody here. So thank you so much and congratulations. So we're here at the SALT location, and Mark Hall is the principal and developer here for the SALT project, South Atlantic Logistic Terminal. That's a mouthful.
It is.
But yeah, SALT. So it's a historic day here for Jasper County and really our entire state, and so happy for Mark and what they're doing here. Mark, tell us a little bit about the project here and what y'all have accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, it's a partnership. It's collaboration between SCA, Beaufort Jasper Water Sewer, City of Hardeeville, the county, and it's time.
Oh yeah.
And the region has bumped into its potential, and now you're seeing the overflow. And it's a combination of everybody working together, infrastructure being in place. And what you'll see here is an 800-acre industrial park, logistics, that'll bring good paying jobs to Jasper County.
And Mark, this has been about 5 years in the making, so I know there's been permitting and so many challenges to get to where we are today, and your team has done such an excellent job of maneuvering those accomplishments, and it has been really just amazing what y'all been able to do in a short amount of time. But talk a little bit about the job creation and the capital investment here.
Yeah, in phase one, you'll see up to $100 million and a couple hundred jobs right off the bat. And that's the tipping point that we see in this area. Money is going to come to the region because of the infrastructure that's in place.
Yes.
And so with Interstate 95 and the Port of Savannah and now water and sewer here, everything is here for the job creation. The workforce is here. And so it's our time.
It is. And really, that's the culmination of so much effort. But when you look at the job creation and the wages that y'all will be paying, this is the opportunity for people who live right here to take advantage of the careers that y'all are going to offer here by this investment. So, I mean.
Yeah, and then what you'll see also is that through the tax base, the money goes to the city, into the county, better schools, protection of the environment, resources. And so, long term, this is sort of the beginning of a new chapter that really raises the quality of life for everybody here in this region.
Well, we're excited to see the book that y'all are going to write. So,
yes.
Mark, congratulations, and thank you so much for
Appreciate
seeing Thank you.
We have for years been saying that this area is ready to explode in terms of growth. So I'm really excited because the interest in this project and in Hardeeville and Jasper County, because of its proximity to the port and the great labor force, the interest is significant across the country. This is a project that occurred because you had government assistance in putting the land together, you had support of local officials, and you had private developers in Savannah who bought into the vision of the people here.
I'm pretty excited, and I'm happy for Jasper County. I'm happy for the state, because what I see today is going to bring a domino effect to the community and for Jasper County. And so when you see something like this, when you see money, it's going to better our schools, it's going to better our community and our roads. And I'm pretty excited about that.
This is not something that happens just because government wants it. What government does is create the atmosphere that investors want to come, creating good community, and investors want to be part of that good community. So it's the investors, it's the city, it's the economic alliances that work with them, it's the state, all our state representatives. It's a great team effort, because all these pieces have to come together to get a project of this magnitude here.
We've been talking about laying the groundwork, infrastructure, and all these things so that we can be prepared for development in the future. This is step one, because this helps us to strengthen our story on why Jasper should partner with the state of Georgia to have a port. And this logistical terminal here will be a main hub for it. It's fantastic. It's 2024. We hear all of the supposed separation of Republicans and Democrats. But you know what? When it comes to local issues, I believe that we have one of the best local delegations to work together for the good of our low country. And we're dedicated to increasing economic development in this area, because we know economic development is a driver for our tax dollars, it's a driver for school, it's a driver for quality of life.